Yeah, please.
And just go ahead and go ahead and tell me right here what you were telling me a second ago.
The Hanshaw officer that they're talking about.
The Hanshaw officer. Hanshaw.
Hanshaw officer. Go back and look on YouTube. You'll find a video where him and 2 other cops had an inmate strapped to the chair and beat his ass.
Really?
Yeah, and now he still works for the city. He's up there at the high school protecting these young kids.
What's his name? Hanshaw?
Hanshaw.
Hanshaw.
Yeah.
And so there's a video of Hanshaw,
And 2 other cops.
and they beat a guy on a gurney.
Oh, he was strapped to the chair. Yeah,
He was strapped to a chair.
yeah, and they beat his ass.
How do you spell his name?
Hanshaw.
Hanshaw beat a guy on a gurney on a chair,
Mm-hmm.
and then is he still? Now he works at the high school.
Mm-hmm.
So they sent the guy who lost his cool and hit a guy in cuffs, and now he works at the high school.
Oh, they beat him. It was ugly.
They beat him.
Yeah, it's on YouTube. You can get on there and watch it.
Hanshaw beat him. Was McKnight with him?
No,
Was Blankenship with him?
no,
Okay.
not that I know him. No,
Who
no.
were the other 2 cops?
Gosh, that one I can't remember, but I do remember him. Yeah,
Okay. Okay.
yeah. Go back when you got some time and watch that video.
I'll try to. I just
Oh,
don't
you'd
have
be
any time.
surprised. Yeah,
Hanshaw's beating people. Now he's the high school cop.
yeah. Serve and protect.
Wow.
Serve and protect.
Wow.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to say?
No, baby.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. She came up behind me a second ago, kind of freaked me out. 'Cause I'm not scared. I just want to make sure someone doesn't grab my throat when I can't look. That's all. Thank you. Appreciate you. Thank you. How you guys doing? How you guys doing? So now we're still at these young girls' house. Hopefully, I'm sorry, you guys. That there's just for some reason YouTube keeps on making some errors here. I don't know why. ASD Docs. You guys, ASD Docs just had his channel deleted, so make sure you look him up. So now when Pam comes in, they're standing over your shoulder and they're making you delete the videos of you filming your brother be tased and arrested. Is that true?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you screaming at the cops when they're on top of your brother? Get off of
Yeah,
him.
it's telling him to get off, and they're just telling us to shut up and go back in the house.
Yeah.
And you guys are screaming through the screen windows? Is that
No,
correct?
we were standing on the porch with them, and we were yelling at them, and they had told us to shut up and go back in the house.
Okay. Okay. And so Pam wasn't there originally, but then she shows up on the scene?
She
Yes.
showed up after they had arrested him, yes.
If you're just seeing this video, what they're telling me is that their stepmother called the police on their brother. McKnight and Blankenfield show up, and then they immediately attack their brother, tase him, cuff him, and beat him. They're recording through the windows of their house, and then after they take the brother and put him in the back of the car, then Chief of Police Pam Wagner shows up and makes them delete their videos
And make a statement
and make a statement saying what?
saying like what had all happened.
What
and
did-
then after that they left.
What statement did you make?
About like how like what happened to cause the police to come.
Oh, so they're trying to paint him ugly.
Yeah. they
Yes,
just want-
basically.
Did you give them a statement?
Yeah. Yes.
What'd you say?
We said that we said what happened before they had gotten there.
But you know you have a Fifth Amendment right to remain silent. You have a Fifth Amendment right never to say anything to cops ever, no matter what. You don't have to speak to a cop under any circumstances. Did you know that?
No.
Yeah.
It was
yeah.
like they were pressuring us.
Oh.
Because they were like standing over top of us. So it was just like pressuring.
As they made you delete videos.
Yes.
Okay. So everybody knows you have a Fifth Amendment right to never speak to cops, and I highly recommend that you invoke your Fifth Amendment right. Okay. And so then your brother. And what other stories do you guys have? Are you harassed by the cops here? Are the kids harassed here?
I'd say a lot goes on at our school
Ironton High
with
School.
Deputy Hanshaw.
Deputy Hanshaw.
Yes.
But that's all I'm going to say about that. But I know there's a lot of kids at the school that want to come forward and tell their stories, but they're scared.
Don't be scared. Hey kids, the only way that you end a vampire is you shine sunlight all over it. And this camera is sunlight. Every time you get involved with Hanshaw is the school cop.
Yes.
Yeah, he's the sheriff that stays at our school.
He's the sheriff. You need a sheriff at a high school for high school kids?
Yeah.
How many school shootings have you guys had?
None.
None. And how many outright brawls have you guys had at your high school? How many like 50 guys fighting 50 guys? How many of those?
Oh,
have you?
none.
None. Okay. So boys fist fight, just so you know.
Yes.
That's the way it is. Let them fight. And then just watch it and make sure no one gets killed. But boys are going to fight each other. I'm a full-grown man, and I still like to fight whenever I can get into the cage and get the pads on and get my mouthpiece in, right? So now Bradshaw, tell me, Hanshaw. Hanshaw at the school. How many kids have a problem with Hanshaw at the school?
It's not necessarily the guys, it's more of the girls.
The girls?
Yes.
Wait a minute. The parents of, tell me, why did the girls have a problem with Hanshaw?
Just because of everything that he does. Like, one of the girls had just went to court over him.
They had a whole investigation case on him because of the way that he is with students.
And how is he with students?
He's very rude. Like, I'm just going to say rude.
He's rude to girls mostly?
Yes.
How does he treat women at your school?
If he likes you, with respect.
If he doesn't, then it's just like, you don't matter to him, so he doesn't care.
So Hanshaw is mean to the girls in the high school? Is that right? So what kind of power does he have as the sheriff of your high school?
I'm not really sure.
He thinks he has a lot of power.
Oh, he does. He does. He can arrest them. He can charge them with truancy. He can do all kinds of things legally against children, and they're young adults in high school. But he can do lots of bad things to people as the sheriff of the high school. And so Hanshaw, if you could, would you get rid of Hanshaw at your school?
Probably.
Yeah.
Most definitely.
Yeah. It's so funny, you know, when you're young, you're nice and you don't want to see someone lose their job. Hanshaw, you should lose your job. You should be fired. Just like. And by the way, Hanshaw, this isn't the first time I've heard about you. This isn't the first time. The woman a moment ago said that you punched a kid. Were you aware that he beat that guy on the gurney in handcuffs?
Yes.
Yes, that video is terrible and it's sad, and he does not deserve to be a
very
cop
disgusting.
after that.
So there's a video of Hanshaw and two other cops beating someone on a gurney?
That is literally tied down, that can't do anything, and it's disgusting
Grabbing
and
him by the throat,
disturbing.
choking him even. I mean,
Yes.
you can
It
watch it
is
online,
just,
literally.
he should not be able to work in a school with kids after he done that. That is disgusting.
Wow.
Chili, I don't want to interrupt, but there's a lady up here who can't be on camera
Can't be
that
on
has
camera?
a note to slip you.
Okay, I have another note incoming here. Excuse me 1 second, ladies, and I'll be right back. You're not on camera. The camera's facing me. This is from your husband?
Yes, and he would like for you to call him.
To give him a call?
Yes.
So now I've been down. This is the second note that someone's slipping to me that doesn't want to be. And why don't you want to be on camera?
It is.
Tell me the truth.
I just don't want to be on camera.
Are you afraid?
No,
You're not afraid?
no. Are
you afraid for your husband?
no. Not afraid at all.
Okay. And what do you think? You're the offspring here. What do you think?
No,
No, but what's going on? Tell me what's going on.
I have no clue.
Why was your husband? You want me to just call him?
Yes. if
They're
you would.
shy. I don't want to push them. So, okay. Second note being slipped to me.
He said if you would read it and give him a call, he would appreciate it.
I'll read it and I will give him a call. I promise you. I won't stop until the corruption's weeded out.
I'd appreciate
And
it.
we're going to do it legally through petitioning, assembling, and redressing our government and using freedom of the press. Non-violence. Make sure you
Something
tell
needs to
it.
be done.
Something needs to.
Something needs to be done.
Yeah. How bad is it?
It's pretty bad.
It's pretty bad.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't want to pressure you. Anything else you want to say?
No.
Okay. Sorry. You guys got a story too about the cops that abused you, that have hurt you? No, you're welcome. I mean, so now I have two different notes that people have walked in and slipped to me. Oh, I see. Oh, no, nobody knows your name. Nobody knows your name. I think we talked on the phone the other day, right?
Yeah.
So no one can see you. They can just see me. Do you want to tell your story to the people who are watching now?
It's not my story
It's not
to
your story.
tell.
Okay. Which story is it?
It's about about a boy that I know.
What's the boy's name?
I'd rather not say.
Okay, that's fine. No pressure for me. But it seems as though it's ubiquitous.
But he's working anyway, so he can't come tell his story. He's away at work. He works away.
Is there a way that you can give me his number? You can send me his
Sure.
phone number. Send me his phone number and I'll give him a call.
Okay.
Okay, thanks guys. Thanks a lot. So,
Someone just sent me a message that I forgot about Hanshaw. but he takes care of all the disciplining at our school when he's not supposed to be. And anytime anybody gets in trouble, he's there, and it's like he takes care of it. But he's not the principal; he's just the sheriff. So I understand why he's taking care of it and disciplining kids and doing the things that he does.
Why would you want a sheriff disciplining your son and teaching a brand of authoritarianism and punishment through the legal processes? Why would you want that in your high school? I don't want that. I don't want high school kids having to deal with a sheriff. Do you? So Hanshaw handles all the discipline. So like someone for like what? Spit wads? What?
It's usually mainly they just call Hanshaw for anything that they need. Like any troubles that they have, they call Hanshaw for that.
Oh, so if you have any, if so, for example, I got kicked out of class so many times in high school, you have no idea. So if the teacher and I said something smart, but then they would call a sheriff on me right there in school?
Yeah.
Yeah, he'd probably come up to the room and get you and take you down to the office or wherever they wanted to put you.
Does he wear a uniform and a gun?
Yes, he does.
So,
He has everything on him.
so he has a taser and everything else?
Yes.
So if you're a teenager with testosterone going through you and you have ADHD and you have OCD and you can't sit straight in class like this guy right here, then they send the cop up with a gun and a taser and a stick to grab you to take you to the principal's office? And then and then the principal and does the sheriff stay there with the principal as it goes through the process?
I'm not sure. I'm usually never there for that.
Sometimes it depends, but sometimes they do have the sheriff in the room depending on
How
how
bad
bad
the
the
situation
situation
is.
is.
What's bad? A
Like,
physical fight?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So two guys get in a fight? Do they get arrested?
No. I'm pretty sure they don't know.
Okay, so they don't arrest people?
Yeah, we don't really have that many fights at our school.
Okay. And so, what other information do you have on there?
That was it. I just forgot
Okay.
to tell that.
If
about
anybody
him.
else knows these ladies and they can text them more information about Hanshaw, Hanshaw, this isn't the first time I'm hearing about you, Hanshaw.
I can give you a story about him. That's the one that come out to my private property.
Oh, Hanshaw came out to your place. I'm gonna cover the camera real quick. Let me just slide over here real fast. So, Hanshaw came out to your private property, and what did he do?
I have a cousin who lives there, and him and his daughter were in an incredible argument. She lived with him. He was throwing them out. And her boyfriend, she was afraid that her boyfriend and her father, my cousin, were about to get into a fight. So she called the sheriff.
Never call 911. Never call the police. Never. They're not gonna help you. It's gonna make your situation far worse.
So he got a hold of me and he said, the sheriff's on the way, get here now. That was the only message I got. I show up, me and another cousin, and and I always carry open. And we already had the argument stopped. We helped her move her stuff outside. She's standing there waiting on her ride. They're on the way. Well, he shows up a few minutes later, and of course the first person he wants to talk to is me because I'm standing there wearing, a pistol on my side. And he said, "Do you have a permit for that?" I said,
A permit to open carry?
I said, "Well, it's open, and I'm on private property." And he said, "Well, you can just get out of here then." I said, "Well, the problem is it's my private property." So he started screaming. He ends up putting me in cuffs, screaming
What?
at me, screaming
What?
at me, spitting all over me, cussing me, even throwing insults at me.
There's a very particular case law based on you being detained or arrested for simply using your Second Amendment right. I don't have the case off the top of my head. I'm sorry. I don't mean to fail you guys, but I'll post the case in the comments. So he comes to your property for a dispute between two people, and you're not one of the two people involved.
Right, that's what I told him. I said, "Man, they were having an argument. I don't have anything to do with it." And he come at me screaming, "I hate these wannabe YouTube fucking stars."
I hate these
And-
wannabe YouTube stars.
Right.
Who's filming?
Nobody. There are no cameras out.
So then why is he
Apparently-
talking about YouTube stars?
Well, I'm sure he's watched a few videos, and a lot of these cops think that the only way any of us could know anything is by watching a YouTube video.
Well, how does it
We're
come up
obviously
though? How does he start talking about YouTube?
That was out of his mouth whenever I told him I hadn't committed a crime. I had no reason to show him ID. They're the ones that having the argument. I've just
Oh,
showed
you-
up. I don't have anything to do with it.
So this is your property,
Right.
and two people are having a dispute on your property, and then you show up, and when he says, "Give me your ID," because you're open carrying, which is legal here in Ohio, and then he says, "I hate these YouTube stars."
No, he said, "I hate you, you wannabe YouTube stars," as he's, puffed up coming at me, screaming.
And then you have a sidearm. What does he do? Grab you?
He doesn't grab me at first. He's standing just screaming, spitting in my face.
I'd scream right
talking
back
about,
at him.
His safety and how he.
Actually, I wouldn't scream.
He
I
has
don't
a
raise-
right to
yeah.
go home, safe to his family at night. And I was trying to explain that's actually not his right. He didn't like that much. And so anyway, I got quiet and let him scream because he started getting very violent. I let him cuff me because I was worried of what he might do.
Wait
to
a minute,
everyone
you
else
guys, you're
standing there.
screaming in each other's. He's screaming in your face.
Oh yeah, I didn't raise
And
my voice.
I wouldn't
had no
raise my
reason,
voice either.
You know.
And then they says, "Turn around, put your hands behind your back," or how does the cuff?
He just stepped behind me and grabbed my wrist.
He just
and
stepped
wrapped-
behind you and grabbed your wrist.
Now, even though legally I may have been able to fend him off, hell, I'm on my own property.
You could have
He's-
shot him
you know,
actually,
I
just so you know. But don't shoot cops.
Yeah,
don't
that's a bad idea.
don't start with any violence. Any violence is bad.
I didn't
We
wanna
will
have
not
to-
win with violence. We'll win with petitioning and assembling and redressing government through the press.
Right.
Okay.
My pistol was for defense. Anything that's silly. It's simple defense. It's the only reason I carry.
So
For me
now-
and those around me.
He pulls your wrist behind your back, and then you just willingly let him cuff you up.
I let him cuff me.
And then what does he do with your gun?
He left it right in the holster because
So he-
as he's leading me to the front of his vehicle, I assume he's going to put me in it and take me to jail. It's a total assumption, you know.
Sure.
And so I went like this and was trying to get my cousin to remove my weapon because I didn't want him.
Oh,
to
you're
have
cuffed
it.
in the front or behind?
I was cuffed behind, but I was just trying to pull my hands up so he could pull it out of the holster.
Oh,
Of course,
you were-
the
you were-
deputy about lost his mind. And anyway, a few minutes later, after screaming at me for several minutes, it's about 15 minutes that he's screaming and spitting all over me, cussing me, insulting my weapon,
And
insulting my
he's in the
height,
high school now.
You know, right? That's my point.
Okay.
You know, and this is the same guy who beat the guy up on the gurney, and I'm glad I didn't see that video before he came out there because I may have hurt him. I may have hurt him real bad because I know what he was about.
You
to
can't
do,
hurt
man.
him. You just gotta.
You know?
We gotta use the law. So
So-
now he takes you out to the car. You're in torture cuffs, and
It was in front of the car. He never actually put me in it. And after he got done screaming, he said, "I'm going to take you out of the cuffs, and you're going to walk that way." And I agreed. And less than 2 seconds later, once he finds out I've already done his job, that was why I was there, he got in his cruiser and left.
wait a minute. So he came out for a disturbance that wasn't between you and anybody else,
Right.
and then he just focuses on you.
Yeah, because I had the gun.
Oh my God.
You know, he hears there's domestic, disturbance, and he wants to come and attack the one guy with the gun who, I'd already fixed his problem. I'd already quelled the argument, helped the lady move her stuff out, and she's standing there waiting on a ride. They showed up just as he's leaving.
Oh my
And we helped
God.
put the stuff in the truck and let her go, That's the problem. I have a neighbor.
Well, did you file a complaint on Officer
No, I
Hanshaw?
actually had about 25 or 30 people, and we tried to keep scheduling a meeting with the sheriff as a group of concerned citizens.
Okay.
But they kept blowing us off. They didn't, they kept saying, well, we can't, he'll have to set up the meeting. I'm like, but you mean to tell me there's no one in the sheriff's station that can, 'cause he
Isn't
wasn't available to talk to me.
isn't the Ironton Town Hall meeting tonight?
I have no idea.
Isn't the Ironton Town Hall meeting tonight? I think that it is. I think that it is. I'll be there if there's an Ironton meeting tonight in the town hall. I'll be right there. So he'll be with me, and everybody's gonna come. Ironton Town Hall meeting tonight. We're gonna see if we can get more than 25 citizens to address Blankenship's, Hanshaw, Fouch, McKnight. Not in that order, because McKnight's the worst, and then the Blankenships who abuse people. And then Hanshaw, who choked and punched a guy on a gurney, and now he's in the high school, and these women said he's harassing the high school girls. Could you imagine if...
he's a hothead.
Just imagine for a moment, imagine for one moment right now, that I harassed high school girls in this town. If I did it, as much as you people who hate me and the other people who love me, if you heard I was harassing high school women, whether you support what we're doing here or you hate my guts, how quickly would I be in the interrogation room, in handcuffs? What are you doing to the high school girls? But if you're a dirty pig who punches people in the face on a gurney, then you can go and harass the high school girls all you want. Hey, Jeff Lawless, why don't you do your job, bud? Why don't you do your job? Lawless. Because Pam Wagner's a total sellout. I have audio of her. You're not going to believe what you hear.
I just got an Instagram DM from a friend from school.
One second. Let me pop over here. I'm going to slide this way. I don't want the camera to reveal anybody here. Okay.
He doesn't want me to use his name, and this happened right across the street from the school, but he said that Hanshaw did a wellness check on him because he fell asleep in his truck for 20 minutes, and Hanshaw showed up banging on his window. Then after a few questions, he forced his door open and grabbed his phone and tried to record him. And he said he grabbed my phone and took it from him. He said after I tried to keep it, and then double-handed chokes me over my middle console and pulls me out and cuffs me and charged me with resisting arrest and obstruction of official business, and I spent the next 7 hours in jail. Had no drugs in my system. He had no reason to do any of that.
Ask him if he was strip searched. Ask him if they strip searched a high school kid who fell asleep in his truck, and they sent a wellness check out, Hanshaw, and Hanshaw arrested him for a wellness check.
He said he was strip searched.
He was strip searched.
Wonder if he was more well after that. I wonder if he felt better when he was done.
You know what? Good thing for Hanshaw. Good thing for strip searching people. The war on drugs is really working out. It's going a lot better now. It's going way better now that we have a war on drugs. And a wellness check equals that you get arrested and charged with resisting arrest because you're just asleep in your truck, obstruction of official business. And you get strip searched, and you get tortured, and you get cuffed and drugged down to a dungeon. That's what putting cops in schools does. And we saw in Florida, the pigs who are in schools, they run when gunfire happens. You do not put pigs in schools. You do not put a trough inside of a high school.
Hey, Chili, did you know that Lawrence County was featured on a TV show called Hillbilly Heroin a few years back?
No,
when the opioid thing hit its peak, this was the area. And we were actually featured on a nationwide TV show called Hillbilly Heroin, literally announced as Lawrence County. And so, when you talk about the war on drugs, it's not a war on drugs. Drugs don't pay fines, and they don't sit behind bars. People do.
It's a war on citizens. That's
Sure
exactly
is.
correct.
Sure is. That's the way they enter your life.
Just so you guys know, the folks sitting all around us, every one of them have a story. Every person sitting around me right now who didn't come here to see me, they have a story. So ask him if there's other people. Do you have pictures? Is that what you have over there?
Oh no, this one just says that Hanshaw goes in when people get when they get caught with vapes. This girl said that he did it to her brother, and he was locked up, and when he got caught with the vape, Hanshaw asked him if he was already in a group home, and to try to basically intimidate her brother.
And then he got arrested for having a vape pen?
I'm not sure about that part, but
So-
she said that he was intimidating him
Why is he dealing with a cop for having a vape?
because he was in school, and that's who they send to handle the vape situation. Is
He's like
Hanshaw.
the principal's bodyguard, and he makes the girls uncomfortable.
What's the
Very.
principal's name?
Is it?
Can you look up online and let me know what time the Ironton City Town Hall meeting is tonight? Because what's the principal's name? Because
Harrison.
Hey, Principal Harrison. Hey, Principal Harrison. It's funny because just so you know, part of my metamorphosis into turning into the person that I am is I did 2 master's courses in child development with my Aunt Marie. My Aunt Marie sent me the courses she was taking. I audited them. I read the books. I took the tests. I aced it. And what I learned is about middle adolescence. So adolescence starts around 10, 12, 13 years old, and that's beginning adolescence. And then middle adolescence is between 13 to 17, and then late adolescence is between 17 and 25, depending on how fast your brain develops. So when you are subjecting young adults to police interactions in their middle adolescence, that is a negative for the children, for the kids, for the young adults. Because I was in high school and I didn't want to be called a kid. So that's what I learned auditing 2 master's courses in adolescence and child development. So what's the principal's name again?
Harrison.
Hey, Harrison, you can't handle your own stuff with high school kids? If you can't, you shouldn't be principal. Get the sheriffs out of your high school. Get any cop out of your high school. Everywhere around the country, get the cops out of your high school. They're not helping, they're hurting. They're giving your kid a criminal record. It's the school to prison pipeline. We've heard about it for decades. Why are we doing this? It happened after the Colorado shooting with Dylan Klebold in Columbine.
You know how they lock the doors?
How?
I can't believe that I'm not a parent, so it's not
Yeah.
my problem, but if I had children in a school system and I come to school to see my child for whatever reason, I don't want to have to knock on a locked door and have somebody buzz me in to get to my child. That means the state could keep them and there's nothing I could do about it. They'd send Hanshaw outside to run me off and keep my kid in the room.
Right.
You know what I mean? What would I really do if I really had to get to my child? There's no way without their permission. They think it's their child why they have it.
So,
You know?
so what he's touching on is this idea that schools need to be locked up and locked down with pigs inside with the kids. That's what he's talking about. Because the idea that every school is going to be a school shooting, you're more likely to be attacked by a shark than you are to be involved in a school shooting. But now, in the name of safety, they've locked the schools and put giant rats inside of the schools. And now, I guarantee you, as these girls sit here, more text messages will come in, more information is going to come in, more people are going to be texting them. Any of your high school mates, let me know if Hanshaw has cheated them. I know he's homeschooled.
Someone else just said that he searches kids in the bathrooms when he suspects that they have a vape, and he like puts his hands in their pants when he searches them.
Hanshaw puts his hands in the pants of kids.
Yeah, that's the text message that I just got.
So-
And this is high school, freshmen through seniors.
And he takes them in the bathroom. Who's the witness to make sure that he's not touching them inappropriately?
No one, because usually when kids get called into the bathrooms, if they get caught in the bathrooms, then the punishment usually goes down in the bathroom. But they don't really get into trouble unless they go out and like.
Oh,
find
no,
out
no,
and stuff.
no. You're in trouble when you're locked in a bathroom with a pig. You're in trouble there. That's where your trouble begins. And that's where Hanshaw's trouble begins, because that's wrong. There needs to be a witness if a cop is going to put his hands on anybody, especially a high school young adult. So the text messages, if you guys know these ladies, or you can find them on, what's your Instagram? Well, if you want to say your Instagram, I don't want to make you guys say it. I just put everything out there. I'm not afraid to.
And people are sending me their numbers to give to you because they have stories to tell.
How many people?
One sent me his, and then he said, give that dude my number, but don't tell him my name. But he said he has a lot of stories. So
The more I'm here in Ironton, which is why I've invited other auditors down. I rented a house. You don't got to pay rent. Come down, bring your roll up, and you guys can stay at my house. Because I've invited other auditors, because there's so many stories. That guy's got a story. His story is valid. The two notes in my pocket right here, these people's stories are valid. This girl's story is valid. These young men's story is valid. I can't get everybody's story. I just can't. I can't. There's only one of me. So I've invited other auditors. A couple more auditors are on their way right now. One would be here today. But I got a nice little house over here with plenty of space. So any other auditors that want to come down, this is why we do what we do.
Can you tell us which ones are coming? Do you know?
I'm not going to say anybody's name. If they want to announce who they are when they get here, that's fine. You guys, do me a favor. Everybody hit the like button. I don't know if you guys have done that yet. Reach down right here, hit that like button, subscribe, and comment and share. This is for my friend Mark, who told me I've got to get better about saying subscribe, comment, and share the video. You guys, everybody take your finger. It's right down here, and just hit your, you see the thumb? It's right down there. Just take your finger and just tap that like button, if you would, please. I know sometimes, and now everybody hit the number 1 button and let me know where you guys are watching from. Are you watching from Ohio? Are you watching from Kentucky? Are you watching from West Virginia? Hit the number 1 button and let me know where you guys are watching from. Every once in a while I see someone say something stupid and I just remove them from the channel. Because remember, there's so many more bootlickers than there are persons of justice. And by the way, thank you for the people who have sent me super chats and Venmo'd me or Cash Apped me or supported what I'm doing, because what we're going to do next is we're going to file a federal civil lawsuit, because I have power of attorney now for Sarah, and I'll get power of attorney tomorrow for Tim, and I will file that federal civil rights lawsuit. That's what I'll do. That's what I'll do. That's what I'm going to do. Everybody make sure you hit the like button and subscribe. Hit the subscribe button. There, that's for Mark. I talked to one of my supporters this morning, Mark, and he was like, "You've got to get better at this, dude." He was going off, and I was brushing my teeth, and I was still not awake yet, and he's just telling me, "You got to get better at it, Chili. You got to get better. You got to get better at it." And I was just like, "Oh, dude," and he just was going on and on. But he's a supporter. He believes in what we're doing.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
It's terrible that we've been programmed to think that law enforcement are incredibly honorable men, full of integrity, or women, full of integrity. That's what most people see when they see a badge and a gun. They assume they're really good people. We've been programmed that way. And the problem is they believe it too.
Thank you. Thank
They
you.
believe that about themselves. They've never considered their oath, and they sure have never read the document they took an oath to.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate your support. 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. So 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. Ironton Town Hall meeting tonight. There's an Ironton Town Hall meeting tonight.
It says virtual town hall meeting.
Oh, it's a virtual town hall meeting. Oh,
So we'll virtually not get there.
you'll virtually not be allowed to air your grievances. By the way, all that global flu stuff with the government agencies, they made that so you couldn't get any services from government. It had nothing to do with that there's a global flu and you'll get it if you show up at a town hall meeting. So there it is. There it is. There
Now
it
the
is.
only ones around here enforcing the mask are the doctors, and they're the ones that actually know the difference. That's
Someone said, Chris E said, "Wow, they let me post again." Listen, I mean, once in a while I block a bootlicker, but not very often. I just try to stay focused on the goal, and I'm not going to be distracted by ridiculously stupid people. There you go. There you go. So just, that's all there is to it. All right, I'm going to cut this roll for a few minutes. I'm going to take a break and get a coffee, go to the bathroom. You guys go to DeleteLawZ.com, get that trifold. It's 100% free. Put the word free trifold in, all one word, free trifold. When you check out for the digital download, it's totally free. I showed you guys how to use it earlier. Never talk to cops, never. You film them and you say, "You've been exposed," and you say, "I plead the Fifth Amendment." You've been exposed. I plead the Fifth, and you never say another word. You just indicate from there on out. Here's the Fifth Amendment. I indicate it. Free trifold. If you want to buy them, thanks for the support. And that's indestructible paper. But I want you guys to not talk to these people who claim to be good people, as they take your brother, cousin, best friend, lover to the dungeon. Okay? Cool. I'll get out of here. I'll see you guys on the next one. Later, Gator. Oh, I'm so sorry. Do you guys want to say goodbye too?
Bye.
Bye, bye, bye. Do you want to say goodbye too?
later.
Okay, sorry guys, you guys want to say goodbye? Okay, bye. You want to say goodbye too? Bye. Okay, sorry about that. I didn't mean to cut anybody off. Thanks for your time.